Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of Super Rugby Pacific. This one, a New Zealand derby between the Chiefs and the Blues. Now, this is a very highly anticipated clash as these two sides played in the opening round of Super Rugby Pacific, and also it was the final of last year as well. We're looking through at the table, the way that it does currently sit. Now, this was, of course, before that last game for the Crusaders and the Western Force, so in that case, the Crusaders, they've moved up now that little bit further, actually up to second, I believe, in the way that it currently stands. But the Chiefs, they are at the top of the bunch, even with that narrow loss to the Fijian drawer last week. And then their opposition, the Blues, something that we're not used to seeing, and that is the Blues indeed last. But any form of point from this contest will push them up, and they will go ahead of Moana Pacifica. Looking through at the starting lineup, first of all, for the Chiefs, a couple big changes made here, but Ollie Norris in the front row alongside Brodie McAllister and George Dyer, Naito Akoi and Tupou Vai in the locking duo with Simon Parker, Jerome Brown and Luke Jacobson as the loose forward trio. Xavier Rowe and Damien McKenzie will make up the 9-10 combo with Quinn Tupai and Anton Leonard-Brown in the middle. Leroy Carter, he's had quite the start to his Super Rugby Pacific career. Imoni Narawa out on the other wing. He's expected to get a try in this one. And then number 15 it is Sean Stevenson, back from Japan and ready to go for this Chiefs side. Looking through at the Blues starting lineup, Jordan Laiku, Eklund and Ofa Toingafasi. In the front row, Patrick Tuipulotu alongside Lachlan McWannell at lock. Then Cam Christie earns his spot in the starting lineup after a very impressive performance last week. Dalton Papali'i at 7 and Anton Sedner slots in as the number 8. Sam Nock and Harry Plummer back to the 9-10 combo. No Bowden Barrett due to his injury. Taeli moves into the midfield alongside Rieko Ioane. Now, quite a few people were a little bit surprised by that choice, definitely because AJ Lamb has been in some terrific form, but the coach saying we're going to back the youngster, see if him partnering with Rieko can really, take it up to the next level, and then they've got that security of Lamb off the bench as well. Clark, Talia and Evans, they are going to be there as the back three. Looking through in the chat, we have already got the super sticker from Simon. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated. No, Satutu, yeah, he is still suspended, so Satutu will not quite be back for this one. We have got there the Kiwi Lads, the king of only showing Kiwi games, doesn't care about the Aussie games. I feel like you're just trying to get a few digs in early, Kiwi Rob, just in case your Blues lose yet again, seeing as they are currently sitting in dead last. We have got there a very good afternoon for you, Hamish, from Brisbane. Good afternoon to everyone else, and welcome to the broadcast. Says James, welcome in. Hi, Alan Hamish, says Robert V. And who do you think is going to win? I honestly do think it's going to be a very close game, and if the Chiefs aren't careful, they could end up losing here at home, and that is the last thing that they want to do. Of course, in the first leg where they were away, they were able to get themselves the victory, but, to go two from two up against the champs would be absolutely massive for them. Go to the mighty Waikato Chiefs, all day, every day, brother, says Christopher. And we have got hi, Alan Hamish from Robert V. Greetings from Arania, Hamish, says Gerhard. As if Lamb is overrated, then Ioane is the king of overrated, says Grotimus. Yeah, Rieko scoring his first try in, over 500 days in the last contest for the Blues, yet that was the game that they lost, so perhaps he has to try and avoid scoring if he wants his side to win. We have got there, hi Robert V, says Matthew, and there as well. And what we should quickly do, that was the wrong button, there we go. Looking through at the benches for this match. For the Chiefs, it is Samasoni Tolkiaho, Aiden Ross, and then Ahio, I should say, as the number 18. Jimmy Tupou alongside Samapeni Finau as the other forward replacements with Cortez Ratama, Josh Jacob, and Daniel Rona at number 23. Then for the Blues, Pole, Fusitua, and Ta'avao in the front row, Biri and Suafua, the other forward replacements, and the big three off the bench for the for the backs, Christie, Pirafeta, and AJ Lamb. Three men who can definitely change this game. They're just showing a little bit of the history between these two sides, the Chiefs and the Blues. It's been quite the rivalry at times. Now in the kids round, so we will get to see the Chiefs dressed as Black Panther, and the Blues, they're going to be dressed as Spider-Man, I believe. Which sounds a bit weird when you say it like that, but it is due to the fact that it is the Super Round. The Chiefs only playing well because they have the 7 players to call in, says Kiwi Rob. I mean, Caleb Tangitau was literally at the Blues. He's been tearing it up for the Highlanders. The Blues didn't use him, so he left, and now he's shining. So the Blues have also tried sevens, guys. It's just they don't use them very well. Shay Clark off the bench, normally in a couple of the previous matches. He is, of course, from the sevens setup as well, as you will know, Kiwi Rob. So he is in your squad, but we won't worry too much about that. Are you doing all the Six Nations games later? We are indeed. All three of them back to back to back. So it's going to be an exciting one. Hope the Chiefs can pull this one through. For all the home fans, says Gerhard. I thought Rona was starting. Says Skrodos. In fact, yeah, they have made a little bit of a change there. Rona is at 13. So who have they got? So that's rather than Leonard Brown, who is going to be missing. Just waiting to hear who it's actually going to be off the bench then in that case. And we have got the High Spider Mick and Hey Matthew. And there I watch Women's Blues Hammy. They damn good against Matatu. 28 points to 17. So Gideon Rappling will come in at number 23 here for the Chiefs. And go the Mighty Chiefs. We are playing in third world conditions like last week. Or we aren't playing in third world. I mean, it just rained is pretty much the gist of it. And the Chiefs are normally pretty good in the wet, but up against the Fijian drawer, unfortunately for them, they couldn't find their rhythm. They were dropping the ball far too often, and they'll look back at that game as one that they certainly could have won, and that they probably feel they should have. But they're still in number one at the moment, so that is the main thing, and they will want to just keep on building. Xavier Taeli in there for the midfield. Are we about to be deafened by cowbell, says James? Yeah, there'll be a lot of ringing going around the ground, I would say. Just showing that starting lineup. Cole Forbes as the number 23. That is rather than AJ Lamb. So, yeah, that might actually be a little bit of the reasoning why we saw Taeli in the starting lineup from the get-go. Was because of AJ Lamb, a bit of uncertainty. So he is not going to be playing at all now. Ladies and gents, that brings in, like I said, Cole Forbes. When does the game start? Game is starting in about 2 minutes. So we are not too far away from the start of this match. Patrick Tuipulotu leading this Blues side out. Their form guide at the moment, they have won 1 from 4. They'll be a little bit disappointed with the start to the season. Definitely after raising the cup at the end of last Super Rugby, Mulu Land, says Spider Mick. But there is still time for the Blues. And I've said it multiple times. If they can get that handling sorted, they're going to be a very hard side to beat. They've already worked on their discipline quite nicely, I will say, throughout this season. I think last game only given away about 7, which is honestly maybe 5 or so less than they normally would. We have got their Going Blues game next week to troll Blues fans cheer on the Crusaders. Do same Waz fans go Newcastle. Sears High Life. They are just talking about Taeli. Is a really talented under-20s guy who has made his way up through the ranks. You see there the form guide of the Chiefs. They won their first 3 games. They did lose their 4th, though. Mackenzie, he is there. We were told yesterday that someone personally got a phone call from Mackenzie and told him that he was out for the season. So we now know that that was a big lie. But at the time, we also knew that. We have got there... what do you think of the TMO only being able to only be coming in on a yellow card and not a straight penalty, says Kiwi Rob? It's an interesting one, and I think depending on the situation, depends on how much people get annoyed about it. I know that that ending of the Hurricanes versus Highlanders game was heavily talked about afterwards. I think that the Fijian draw Brumbies game, I think the officiating in that one was almost worse. Almost time to crack a Lift Plus. Now I'm feeling homesick from Auckland. Says James there. Ben O'Keefe, man in charge of this contest. Glenn Newman, the TMO. And Blue should work on their attitude and stop being a bully towards opposition, says Spider Mick. And we have got there, how are you, Hamish? Looks like your hay fever is gone. It hasn't quite. I'm just trying my best not to sneeze at the moment. So hopefully it doesn't affect us too much throughout this match. There he is, Spider-Man Harry Plummer. And that is due to, of course, all the superhero uniforms or the kits that the teams have gone with at FMG Stadium for this matchup. The prediction is 73% in favour of the Chiefs. What's your opinion on it, Hamish? Like I said, it depends on the situation. Some people will complain when the TMO does get involved too much. Some people will complain when it's not involved enough. And once again, it's just down to interpretation of the referees. Will depend on what you see. But like in terms of even just deciding what is it a yellow card equivalent compared to a penalty can sometimes vary game to game as well. Naitai Akoi, nice low tackle made on him to start this match off, and the Chiefs will be in possession inside of their own 22. Let's go Mish, ring the bells long and hard, Chiefs for the win. Do you think Damien will get 2 tries? It would be a tough one, definitely first game back, but I think from that Western Force Crusaders game, what we've seen is it can be very open down the wings. We saw 7 tries between Macca Springer. In fact, no, sorry, 8 tries I think it was between Macca Springer and Sevu Reece. Chiefs all the way, brother, says Christopher, and currently the Blues. They've got themselves the possession. Naitai Akoi looking for the steal, wasn't able to get it cleanly. Now Sam Knock has been told to use it, so he's going to be rolling this ball back. A Brumbies drawer blew off the park, or blue drawer off the park. There's no controversy, says High Life. Yeah, although a couple of the late decisions would say slightly otherwise, but yeah, it's one of those ones. The Brumbies should have won that game, and they did. But yeah, the draw could have been a lot closer had they had 1 or 2 decisions go their way. But nice run 4 from Corey Evans, starting at 15 for this game. Cole Forbes, who wasn't even going to be in the 23, now going to be making his way off the bench. And speaking of sneezes, one moment, we will quickly do so. We are good. Are these 2 uniforms different enough? Both blue. OMG, what a joke. I mean, the Black Panther one is black for the Chiefs. But, yeah, I guess in terms of similarity, it does make the colours a little bit closer. Nice run 4 from the youngster Taeli. Now Sam Knock going back across to the left-hand side. Crusaders back 3 did amazing. Yeah, the fact that Will Jordan only got 1 try and the others got 8, you know, it was a pretty good day at the office for the Crusaders. Patrick Tuipolotu, middle of the field, tackled well by Brodie McAllister, ex-Crusaders player. There are a few guys who have transferred to different sides this year. Blues have red on their kit, says Novmum. And we're watching the Newcastle Knights or the Auckland Blues. Their shirts a bad, nice pass on the outside. Oh, Taeli just has a slip as he moves into the 22. Sam Knock gets it back. That actually looks like Ta'aval now. He was actually not going to be starting this game. Amoni Narawa, though, winning the foot race, misses the kick, but it sits up. Naitai Akoi didn't even try and grab that ball. Instead, tried to kick it forward. Completely missed it, and now Mark Talia. And the Blues have the ball on their own 22. Missed tackle from Tupavai. Now Talia passes. That's a big tip. I think Quinn Tupai is saying he's jumped into me. I've done nothing there, so that'll be an interesting one for them to judge. Did you say the same thing about the Crusaders? Says Kiwi Rob. It's probably hard to tell since we didn't do a stream for it, but he possibly did. I know that some people are just firmly against all of the kits that we've seen for this round. And that's going to be nicely taken by Damien. McKenzie wrestled down by AJ Lamb, who is starting on that left wing side. That is rather than Caleb Clark. So, yeah, quite a few late changes in this one, it would seem. I actually thought that Lamb was going to be coming off the bench. If the Crusaders, says Christopher Dixon. As a Newcastle Knights fan, I'm good. Says High Life and 55 Crusaders, 33 Force. That is correct. High scoring one for the Wingers. That's going to be slapped back. A little bit scrappy at the moment, but the ball's gone into the hands of Xavier Rowe. It's the kicking behind for Narawa. And now plenty of time for Corey Evans, who does manage to get it into touch. Sean Stevenson sides against taking it quickly. What was the score for the Crusaders? Yeah, so 55-33. They managed to get themselves the win. Maybe the hay fever is too much time on the construction sites. I made out in the open, says James. I'd say that it was. That was head contact, says Kiwi Rob, although if you know the laws well, you'll know he slipped into it, so that's normally ruled out of being foul play, definitely because if he hadn't slipped, McKenzie wouldn't have even got him in the testicle. That's how low it was. But it's going to be a line out here for Brodie McAllister. Going to the front, nicely played by the Chiefs. And getting close to the touchline here. Amen, Crusaders, cheers for that, Glenn Woods. Says Matthew. Tackle made by Big Patrick. Tony Pilotu locks himself over the ball and is told not to use. How are you today? Says George. So not too bad. A little bit of a handling error there from Norris. They'll go back for the scrum. Let's go. The Chiefs says Judah. And come on, the Chiefs says Christopher. Right. Keith sounds like he wants to keep this game flowing nicely, which does mean it's going to be a relatively high tempo, which will be tough for the players to keep up with. Both of these sides love playing that running rugby type of game. Looking through at the results from last week, ladies and gentlemen, for anyone curious. In terms of this Blues side, they were beaten by the Brumbies for the first time at Eden Park in over 12 years. 1 point was the difference between those teams. In terms of the pack weights, 2 kgs the difference here. The Chiefs 912, the Blues 910. The Chiefs, they were defeated by the Fijian Drua. And that game did take place in Fiji, where the Fijian Drua have got a extremely impressive record just away from home, that they do seem to struggle. And then also a couple other upsets along the way, including, the Hurricanes beating Moana Pacifica. Moana Pacifica beating the Hurricanes 40 points to 31. It was a very entertaining round. Why is Ratima not starting? Says Lilo. I think it's just so that they can switch between him and Xavier Rowe. Like, Ratima has started a few times this season, but they also like his pace off the bench. And just to be able to have that composure near the end of a contest can be a match winner for them. It's going to go high, nicely taken by Quintapai, keeping the ball alive. Goes off now to Brody McAllister. What's up, Hamish? Your Rugby 25 videos were funny. Did your friend figure out how to tackle by now? We haven't actually played it since recording those, so maybe not. But you'll have to do some more recordings of them at some stage. Damien McKenzie looking for the cross kick to Leah, waiting for it, but takes it a little bit too casually, and the Chiefs managed to get the ball back. Now 40 metres out from the line. Xavier Rowe, McKenzie, skip past George Dyer. Had a little bit of a fumble of it, but he has managed to retain the ball. The first on the table versus last. Don't blow it, Chief, says Judah. And yeah, the fact that that is the situation we find ourselves in, that the Chiefs and the Blues, the two sides that were finalists last year, are at opposite ends of the overall standings, is quite confusing. We have got high from Rusty right. Welcome in. It's going to be the penalty going the way of the Chiefs, just around the halfway line. They will have the chance of being able to kick this one either into touch or maybe consider the early 3 to give them the lead in this contest. Keep trying to show off some of his football skills. The ball went away from him, unfortunately. But looks like McKenzie was pointing somewhere. He is pointing at the post. So they are going to look to get the early 3 here. Like they are just saying, Ben O'Keefe keeping a close eye on the breakdowns for any sort of penalties. Blues are sport, but that's the thing. Like, some of their games, little fine-tune adjustments, and they possibly would have won them. Like, they are a strong side, and on paper, they're one of the most stacked teams, if not the most stacked, in the competition. But their biggest problem has been, for one, it was the discipline near the start of the season, and now it's gone on to the handling, unfortunately. Does TKL stand for the construction with a K, lads? Not quite, no. But if it did, I'm sure we would get a lot of questions about the spelling. And now, nice clearance from Corey Evans. And run the ball man, desperate for 3 points. And the two players merging into one is crazy. Can't believe a game in 2025 can't get basic physics right. Maybe Rugby 26 will work. Says Xander. Yeah, it's an interesting game. But I have to say, at the moment, a few of the glitches do actually make the game funnier, while they're still trying to fix the gameplay a little bit. We have there Kiwi Rob arguing every time the Blues get a decision against them. Welcome to the whole season. But, yeah, as you can tell by the table, they've had a few that haven't quite gone their way so far. Now, nice run from Tupavai, crawling forward, but no one holding him. Yes, Amish, the Satyrs have more All Blacks than the Blues, says Kiwi Rob. Yeah, although you also got to look at that Crusaders injury list. I would say probably affects it a little bit. Like, when you look through at what was going to be the starting lineup for this match, you've got six Blues that were in the starting lineup who are All Blacks. Yes, Caleb Clark got taken out. In fact, you could say 7 because of Harry Plummer. Crusaders, they had a fair few in that last match, but if you want to say that your side's weaker, go for it. But at the end of the day, this Blues side They have got huge potential to do well, but they've just been a little bit lackluster so far. Now kick downfield, Sam Knock into the 22, and Sean Stevenson at the back will just take the casual mark. Win or lose, Blues till the end, says James Martin. And we go there, Chiefs by 15, says Banana Lucy. And Chiefs line out looking solid, says Gerhard. Yeah, both of these sides, that's the thing. McWannell, I think, is a little bit underappreciated for that Blues line out. Tui Pilotu, of course, he's a veteran. These two sides have conceded the fewest points in the opening 20 minutes of the comp. And once again, we talked about it before, the table. The way that it is, when should this game end? Probably around, I'd say 8:50. Somewhere around there, 8:55, probably more likely. Now looking for the rolling ball here, the Blues, just outside of their own 22. Sam Knock goes across to Rico Ioane. And yes, there's Rusty, and Chiefs by 30. Right, 30 might be a bit much. I think this is going to be a relatively low-scoring game. So the only way I see one of these sides winning by 30 is if the opposition get less than 10 points. And maybe that is the prediction you're going with. Amoni Narawa tries the little chipper behind. It's going to be knocked on by the Blues, then played on the ground by Narawa. So we'll go back for the scrum. And Blues strong team today, says Bhavani. Although a couple late changes that I should mention about, which is Caleb Clark out for AJ Lamb to make his way into the starting lineup. So, yeah, change that they definitely wouldn't have wanted to make. And we have got their Chiefs line out looking solid. And Chiefs by 15 is the prediction from Banana Lucy. Still no Luke Jacobson then. He was supposed to be at number 8 for this game. I believe he has returned. Is his concussion, it was in the second round, wasn't it? Another mistake by the Blues, says Banana Lucy. Yeah, their handling it's just slipping through their fingers more times than not at the moment. And 18 to the Blues, 58 to the Chiefs. Geez, that's a big scoreline. Definitely with the first 11 and a half minutes without a single point. Now, the Chiefs, of course, did go for the 3, but was a failed attempt. Okay, they're praising the jerseys at the moment. I know that they have really had a mixed reception, but it is just for the kids round. It's not the full-time kits, which I think is something that concerns some people. They actually thought that from now on they were going to have these kits. Blues ready to do the banking, says Bhavani. But now, scrum feed around the halfway line. Lachlan McWannell just adjusting the headband, making sure that the ears are in. We're going to see a pretty big shove from one of these two sides here. It's not even a sellout, says Kiwi Rob. I mean, a lot of the games haven't been for Super Rugby. I know the opening contest between the Blues and the Chiefs, did they sell that one out in the end, or were they also short in terms of numbers? That's going to be another penalty going the way of the Chiefs. Will they consider another 3-point attempt? Has Sky offered an apology for last night, Hamish? Only I saw there was a news article about it, and pretty much they just said, yep, sorry, it wasn't supposed to crash. That was about it. So, I mean, they can't do much more, I don't think. Other than, I don't know, they could offer a discount or something, but they won't want to do that. They just up their price and jam the kits. Do you think Spider-Man would ever dress up in a Blues jersey for a movie? Probably not. But who knows, if rugby gets big enough in the US, maybe it could make an appearance in a Spider-Man movie. Now Jerome Brown moves to about 10 metres out from the line here for the Chiefs. Amoni Narawa tries to pick and go. Kurt Eklund was never on side there, and the referee, I think, has just seen that. So there is going to be the advantage going the way of the Chiefs. They are 5 metres out from the try line. All still available for Xavier Rowe. Goes out wide. Quinn Tupaia looking for the finish, but he'll be driven just that little bit closer to the sideline. Naitoa Akoi, 3 metres out. It's good defence at the moment from the Blues, but how long can it last? Score still 0-0. Was hoping for a high-scoring game. There is still potential of a high contest in terms of the points. I think we just need one to open the try-scoring tally. Oh, Tupaia turned to his back. That was a brilliant save by Taeli, as well as Kurt Eklund. He put in the first initial hit. Now Xavier Rowe goes across to McKenzie. Skip pass out wide. Leroy Carter He normally scores these for fun in the 7 circuit. He's bumped off Mark Talia, running straight sideways. No one wants to tackle him straight out in front of the post. Strategic. If they are looking for the extra 2, Parker goes to McKenzie, rush defence from Talia, flick pass round the back from Sean Stevenson, and Rona scores the opening try of the contest, and that is a brilliant one for Stevenson there. And the crowd, they are extremely happy about it at FMG Stadium. And we have got there, come on ref, and Rugby in a Superhero or Spider-Man movie, that's an idea. Says Glenn, and what a pass, says Gerhard. Yeah, great defence on Quintapaya initially, and then McKenzie. Oh, yeah, that was bad. Unfortunately, from Mark Talia, he rushed up thinking he was going to cut it off. McKenzie drew him in, passed it away when Talia missed. And then from there was no one out on Talia's wing, which meant that Rona could just run it in. An evening, Brother Hamish, how you doing, mate? All good my side. Says Birdie, doing extremely well. Excited for the rugby that we have got on today. 3 games of the Six Nations back to back to back. Q Rob be like, says Banana Lucy. And McKenzie just misses away to the side. Sevenston, almost a spelling, shouldn't even be playing. Says Kiwi Rob. Is that because he played overseas? I assume you're saying. Was McKenzie the reason for the first try? He did have the assist of the assist. So pretty much Stevenson got the assist, but McKenzie did the pass to Stevenson. So yeah, like a half assist. I guess you could say. One moment, I am about to sneak. We are good. Can't wait for the 3 Six Nations games. Yeah, and the fact that there could be 3 lead changes. I keep on mentioning it, and you guys are probably sick of me saying it, but the fact that all 3 games can influence the finish of the Six Nations is quite cool. Like, yes, France are the favourites because they're just that little bit more ahead. Big kick downfield from Damien McKenzie. Watching France play is so much fun, says Glenn. Crusaders are back, says Vaughan. Who have they got next week, the Crusaders? I'm trying to remember who it is, but yeah, hopefully they can back it up with another good performance like they did up against the Force. Kicked high. Narawa going up for it alongside AJ Lamb. Quintapaya keeping the ball alive, and now Stevenson. Oh no, there was a knock on. Is there selection restrictions in Super Rugby for players who've been overseas now? Says Studs Ray. I think it's only if it's like a playoff game, isn't it? I think that happened last year for Bowden Barrett. He finished in Japan and said, I want to come back and play. And Super Rugby said no. So I think because it was a planned sabbatical for Stevenson, maybe they knew that he was going to be back by this stage, and that's why he's able to play. But yeah, I think it's to do with not bringing back like superstar players in playoff games and taking away the chance for the guys who have earned their spot there. And we have got Skellington said with Barrett. And they are trying to ban the French bomb squad for Thrashing Island, says Matthew. And there's a charger cable over the other side of the table. You got to bend over to get it, says Andrew. No, we only have ever had to do that once, and hopefully never again. Joe Hamish got it, says Duds Ray. Big solid scrum from both front rows. The Blues have been told to use it. AJ Lamb goes across now to Harry Plummer. McKenzie trying to get in the breakdown, can't get the interception. Now Anton Segner playing in that number 8 jersey for this contest due to the absence of Hoskins Atutu to get himself the red card when tackling Peter Larkai. Now knock. Back across to Angus Ta'aval. Come on, the Chiefs, says Christopher. Tui Pelotu. Tackled by Simon Parker. Just slowly building up here for the Blues. Some nice phase play up to 7. I don't think I can remember the last time the Blues hit 10 phases. And I know that sounds harsh, but honestly, like their last game, they kept dropping it when they got up to about 6 or 7. They're up to 9 at the moment. See if we can get one. Oh, the ball was loose, but they have managed to hang on to it. Looks like there is a player down in back play as well. Might be Tupovai down. Will be a big concern for the ABs. Overside Binokiva. I assume that's offside. Now Christie. Big attack and run forward from the 6. going to be held up. The maul is down, and that is going to be the scrum feed now for the Chiefs, but they have a bigger problem, and that is Tupavai, whether or not he will be able to continue in this match. I think the answer is no, but is he going to be able to go? Oh, that's moving a lot. The medic is really twinging that knee. I guess that's one way to test whether or not it's going to work. Oh, I think it was just a clean out to have one leg, and then on the other side, McWannell did get the knee, and that collapsed it, unfortunately. Oh, the way that the commentator worded that, dove straight in at his knee, that's a penalty if we're wording it that way, but I think it was just one of those breakdown incidents that do happen, unfortunately, every once in a while. No, they're going to have a look. Like I mentioned, the way that she kind of said that made it sound like she felt it was foul play. And now they're going to have a look at this. We need him for the AB, says Glenn Woods. Right, so Tupavai makes the tackle. He's targeted pretty low, Lachlan McWannell. Oh, so I think they're saying that because Quintupaia tried to roll away, that's meant that McWannell... I think it's just the case of because of Tupaia being in there, he had to dive over a little bit further. And it sounds like it is just going to be a normal... I don't even think it's going to be the penalty. So I think, what was the one that we had initially? Was there a penalty for the Blues? A is entitled to clean out Amish, exactly. So that is the decision that they've come to. Tupavai is going to be all right by the looks of it. So that is great news as well. And we have got there, I must say this. This is not an exciting game. Says Novmum. Professional foul if it was deliberate, says James. And fair enough, says Skeleton. Yeah, at the end of the day, like, they said the eyes of Lachlan McWannell kind of indicated that there was no intention of just taking out a leg. It was just more so the fact that with Tupaia rolling, it meant that he had to go a little bit further forward. So it is going to be the scrum feed here for the Chiefs. Stevenson unhappy. They wouldn't give him a run in the ABs. He wants to go back to Japan, says Glenn. What's the difference between that DMAC 1? Says Kiwi Rob. Wait, are you talking about the one where... You are talking about the one our Xavier Taeli slid into him, right? When he slipped over, I assume. So the big difference is one player was about, I don't know, even like 30 centimetres off the ground in terms of the height of his head, so it makes it quite hard to tackle him low when that is the case. Kurt Eklund now ready to throw this one in. Nicely taken by Anton Segner. The Blues in possession, sitting about 30 metres out from the line. But the bonus was they did get 10 phases in a row. Now nice run down the wing for AJ Lamb. Kicks it on the inside, but there to cover was Imoni Narawa. Way over there, come on, get up, stop milking, says Spider Mech. Yeah, whatever the medic did, it certainly straightened out Vai's leg. Like, it looked like he was really, like, almost trying to pop the knee or pop a bone back into place the way he was cranking on that thing. But it worked because Vai's back on his feet. Who got yellow carded? No one at all. Everyone's still out there on the field. 15 on 15, almost stolen by Cam Christie, but did end up throwing him across the gap. So the penalty does go the way of the Chiefs. Come on, the Chiefs, says Christopher Dixon. Just the 5 points on the board. The early try for Daniel Rona, a man who wasn't even going to be in the starting lineup. That's a bit of an interesting one, isn't it? Because I was just thinking about it. They have something on the TAB, which is a first try scorer. But if you weren't able to bet on Daniel Rona to score first, and he did, that means every single person who bet on a first try scorer lost their money. Because no matter who they backed, like a guy who wasn't available to back did get it. So that would have been a good bonus for the TAB. Stevenson should go back to Japan. So should D-Mac. Says Kiwi Rob. And I'm not a Blues fan, but their line-out is incredibly frustrating, says Studs Rays. Yeah, a lot of little errors in there, unfortunately. Now, just outside of their 22, the ball in the hands of Patrick Tuipulotu. And my brother won $750 betting on Asao Tuipulotu scoring first when it was Blues vs Reds here in Brisbane, says James. And did the Blues get permission from Disney for the Spider-Man jerseys? I assume so. I think all of the sides would have gotten the right licenses and everything to be able to wear them, because they are selling them as well. So that's a little bit different to just, putting on a kit. You're actually profiting off it. But then I think it's also, I want to say there's some sort of charity involved. So hopefully they didn't have to pay too much to get the licensing for it, or maybe even got gifted it. I don't know the logistics of it. That's going to be thrown over the top. Nicely claimed by the Blues on their own 22. Anton Segner running it straight at Luke Jacobson. That is a brilliant leg drive. Show the importance of body position. Oh, maybe a bit offside. Yep, well done from Corey Evans to be able to pull out of that one. And we have, I think, one of the issues with the Blues is they need more power in their attack, like they did last year with the loss of Sam Derry, Rico's brother, Kira Ioane. Not there has hurt them in the Blues. Need a number 6. Anton is too small, says Banana. Oh, Moon, I am about to sneeze again. 1 second. We are good. Slowly turning more and more red, as always. Now Simon Parker. Sitting about 35 metres out from this Blues line. Rev supports the Chiefs. Says Booba, I should say. Oh, low pass. Leroy Carter well handled. Moves up to 22 metres out now. Each time the Chiefs have got down to this type of region, the Blues have been a little bit, I want to say a bit, not so much lazy, but just a little bit unaware of the penalties they're giving away in terms of just having a guy, there it is again. No clear release from the Blues in the breakdown, so that's going to be another penalty. Give everything for the Chiefs, what a shame, says Booba. So yeah, tackler not releasing, penalty going against the Blues here. Okay, this is a big decision for the Chiefs. I was trying to hear whether or not they were taking on the 3 or not, but they are. Chiefs play with 16 men. So here's Booba. Yeah, currently the penalty count, it is 4-0. It's been a lot more possession at the moment for the Chiefs in this contest compared to the Blues. For the first 24 minutes, just haven't really been able to find their rhythm throughout this matchup. A few handling errors haven't helped that situation. Definitely around the halfway line. Under the high ball too, they've been a little bit 50-50. Now McKenzie ready to line up this kick for the posts. They've just said 0 from 2 at the moment. And that one has gone over, so that will make the score now 8-0 in favour of the Chiefs. The FMG crowd extremely happy with it. Chiefs have always been entertaining to watch. Says Skeleton, and Blues are starting to misbehave. They may end up with a card. Says Matthew. Yeah, if they can just get their hands on the pill a little bit more here. Without dropping it, of course, because they've had a few of those already. Now Xavier Rowe. It's taken back into the 22 of the Chiefs. And that is the same case yet again. Xavier Rowe won't be able to kick this ball into touch, but instead, big punch there from Christie onto the arm. One of the Chiefs players. Nicely taken under the high ball for Corey Evans. Knock goes across now. This is the chance for the Blues. Try and work their way back into this contest. Lachlan McWannell tackled on the halfway line. Now kicked him behind from Knock. Not the biggest fan of that. They finally got the ball after about 10 minutes. Then gave it straight back. McKenzie, fantastic kick downfield, and that will take them down towards the halfway line again. Chiefs play with 16 man, says Bubba. Mackenzie, 130 matches for the Chiefs. He's got 37 tries, and he has moved up to 4th in the all-time point scorers with 1,298. Line out for the Blues. This is where they've been a little bit shaky at times. They straighten this one out. And, it was almost stolen by Naitoa Koi. The ball will bounce onto the side of the Blues, and I believe it will be the penalty going the way of the Blues here for playing the arm. Yeah, right hand on the man's back, I think O'Keefe has said there. And that is going to be against Tupavai. We'll like it if Roger Randall takes over as Chiefs coach next year, says Glenn. We've seen 5 penalties in total throughout this game. And that is the first one against the Chiefs. Plummer needs this one to find touch. Yep, that one has gone out. Nice kick from Plummer there. This will work the Blues down to about that 22 metres or so out. We see it there, yeah. Just as Naitoa Koi goes down, he actually grabs the back of the shirt of Lachlan McWannell. Can't be the Chiefs. The ref gives everything. I stop the game. The Blues just got a penalty, though, so that's good. So maybe, wait, so as soon as you stop the game, that's when the Blues got the penalty. I think we've worked out maybe what needs to happen. 10 metres out from the line. Going off to the left here for the Blues, only a few metres out from the try line. Cam Christie wrestled backwards by Leroy Carter, who tried to get straight back up to his feet. Still a counter-up coming from the Chiefs. I think Brodie McAllister lost his footing there. Did you ever go to uni, Hamish? Not like to study, but I've been at a university before. But just not like full-time. But now 10 metres from the try line here for the Blues. Anton Segner goes back across. Ref saying to the Chiefs to make sure that they stay on side. Getting into the breakdown was Brodie McAllister. Can't get his hands on the pill. Now 5 metres out from the try line. Really good chance here for the Blues. They're up to 9 phases. Anton Segner over the ball. Rowe almost had that one. Tui Pilotu can't quite reach out over the ball. Tupavai gives away the penalty advantage. Now Plummer, wide cutout pass, tries to throw it to the referee, who was not on his team, fun fact. Don't you mess with big bad Leroy, says Glenn. Yeah, what's his nickname? Bumpfer, isn't it? He certainly can put in quite a big hit. Ref play with the Chiefs, but that is now another penalty against the Chiefs. That is against Jerome Brown for not rolling away. Bubba, you're losing the plot, mate. We have their try, Normally. Sorry, I got very confused there. I was trying to work out whose nickname that was. Yellow card, but ref suck Chiefs. So which one would you say was the yellow card? I assume the clean out and the breakdown, maybe. Now. Wait, no, sorry, that was against the Blues, wasn't it? So, yeah. Going off to the left-hand side. Hurry up, Blues scores, says Banana. They are certainly trying. Like, they are right on the verge of it. Only about 3 metres out from the line. Xavier Rowe tried to get the steal, wasn't able to do so. No advantage. This is against Amoni Narawa. Just rushing up a bit too much. And, right, they're offside again. Oh, sorry, that's actually a different penalty to the last. From Ireland, but Super Rugby is rigged, says Booba. So why do you watch it, out of curiosity? If you say that it's a rigged competition and that you don't enjoy it and that you wanted to turn it off, why do you still watch? Genuinely curious. Because, like, people have said that about the IPL before, so they just don't watch it. A ref give the game for Chiefs, winners yellow card. That's literally the 3rd penalty that's been penalised. Like, unless you're Scott Barrett, you're not getting a card this early in terms of the penalty count. But now there's going to be another line out here for the Blues. They are 5 metres from the line. They often go for the line out rather than going for the 3 points. It has cost them games this season, but in this case, it might reap some rewards. So the Chiefs holding strong, holding extremely strong, in fact. The Blues have been told that it is still moving. I think the Chiefs thought that they had done enough. Eklund hanging on to it to make sure that they join it from the back, which they have done beautifully. And that ball, is it going to come out? Yes, it does for Sam Knock, only just. 4 penalty, no yellow. That was the 3rd one, if we're actually counting. And in that case, The Blues are giving away 4 penalties, so are you saying they should also have a yellow card, Booba? Or are you just saying you should be a bit biased towards one side? That was close to offside there for the Chiefs, though. Sitting only 2 metres out from the line. No advantage. Right, this time you might have an argument. Seeing as that is the 4th one. Oh, that was very close, but Tui Pilotu, he's dropped the ball, though. Right, double blow the whistle. Is Ben O'Keefe reaching to the pocket, or is this the final warning here for the Chiefs? Looks like it will be final warning. Northern Hemisphere rules, I guess. Says Skeleton. Blues should have scored by now. They're acting like a slow woman. What does that mean? 5 fouls, but no yellow. No, it's only 4. You're only up to the 4th one now. Right, and they are on their last warning. Chiefs in the naughty corner. Says James. But now, looks like the Blues are once again going to opt for the attacking option of going for the scrum. Scott Barrett still hold the record for the fastest yellow this season. It was certainly fast, wasn't it? So I'd say yes. Definitely because it wasn't for like proper foul play and it wasn't like a penalty try scenario. It was just he did a dumb thing, and because of repeated infringements, like that was why he ended up going off. But yeah, repeat infringements after 3 minutes. You agree, ref, from the Chiefs? The penalty count's now even. So I don't think you can say that anymore. Maybe when they were 4-0 up in the penalty count, but now we're back to square. 4 penalty and only a warning. Ben O'Keefe should have given a yellow card. Well, the Blues have given away 4 penalties and they haven't got a warning yet. We're just mentioning stats. But, you know, now rolling maul, gone down again. Looks like they're going to struggle to get it out there, but Sam Knock has got the ball in hand. Going off to the right-hand side, Patrick Tui Pilotu. Jacobson thought about going for a turnover. If he had, it would have been a penalty against Jerome Brown for not rolling away. Now passing off across, sitting a couple metres out from the try line now. Angus Ta'aval. Now Sam Knock goes off to Corey Evans. Oh, goes through the fingers at AJ Lamb. Scores it out wide. He wasn't even supposed to be starting at 11. In that case, penalty again. No, it's a try now, Boba. Geez, they needed that. They certainly did. They've finally broken through 32 minutes for them to get that try. And just sneaking through the hands of Amoni Narawa. Blues hard out, says James. Good afternoon, Hamish. G'day. Or game day, says Blues Nate. Welcome in. And we have got their Chiefs tiring them out, says Skeleton. And boo, says Prim. And Blues hard out. And Calder Blues, Nate. We had an awesome day, says Matthew. But brilliant finish from AJ Lamb. Wasn't initially going to be in that starting 15, but due to the absence of Clark, it meant that does make his way in. Now Harry Plummer. Relatively close to the sideline. I think down the road I can hear my neighbour, and I think they're a Blues fan. Says Banana. And that one has gone over. And by the way, Hamish, IPL was back on Sky Sport from the 23rd of March. Yeah, we did mention it on yesterday's stream. They did have an ad for it, which is very exciting. Only about 8 days away from taking place. But we knew the ref will give penalty for Chiefs soon, says Boba. That's kind of how rugby works. Normally when one side get a penalty, later on the other team will also get one. Because or else they get called biased, like you are saying. So luckily, the penalty count at the moment, Blues have given away less. So could you say the ref's biased towards the Blues now, Boba? You got to switch it around. Got to choose a different side for your argument now. Now sitting 22 metres out from the line. Nice tackle made just to stop the momentum. They have been told to use it. So Sam Knock will roll this ball back. Super kick from Plummer. Yeah, really nice strike from the Blues 10. McKenzie, not taking it cleanly. Almost goes into touch. He's tried to pass it into AJ Lamb there. I think they're going to check this. Yes, it is actually going to be a Chiefs line out. So McKenzie, that was extremely strategic. They were just going to make sure that it wouldn't have been a forward pass. Yep, so it is Chiefs ball. So pretty much McKenzie was about to be pushed into touch, so he offloaded it straight into Lamb so that it would hit Lamb, bounce out, and the Chiefs would have the line out. Now, big run forward from Jacobson. Going to be dropped hard. A nice close game. Now we'll get the 8-7 change the score, bro. It says that. And now 5 metres. Out from the 22 is normally where you'd aim for this. It looks like it's going to be about 10 or so, but drop ball from Plummer. Now Simon Parker offloads it to Amoni Narawa. He was looking for someone with a bit of pace. Rowe was on the inside, but he didn't pick him up. And now 7 metres out from the line, make it 5. Rowe goes across to number 5. Tupovai. Sam Knock tackled by his teammate. Now Rowe. Oh, trying to get the steal with Patrick Tuipulotu. Hasn't got it cleanly. Jacobson. Round the side, Imoni Narawa. And come on, the boys. Says Novamam. I'm from Belgium. All of my friend. Says Boba. Like, isn't all people from Belgium are your friend? Or everyone here is your friend? Oh, it's going to be a loose ball. Oh, what a spin from McKenzie. They'll check to make sure it wasn't a knock on, but I believe he's dropped that one backwards. Everyone's kind of stopped and he's just run it in for another try. The Blues 12 under. Says John, and a spot to lose, Blues and the Sharks. Says Boba. Right. So McKenzie, we'll see it right now. Rowe goes back to McKenzie. It's gone backwards. He then spins through the defence. Oh. Was that a whistle for them to check this one? That angle makes it look like it goes forward, but that is the behind angle, I believe. A Blue should win if the ref stops sucks, says Booba. We have good there. I'm liking the Blues. Get your friendly guy, Peter Parker. And D-Mac Genius says good hard, but that is now going to make the lead 8 points again, 15 points to 7. An important time in the game for D-Mac to cross the try line. Now sitting with 3 minutes remaining in the half. Should mention we are covering 3 games of the Six Nations later on, ladies and gentlemen. First one, Italy versus Ireland. Then from there, it will be Wales versus England. And then France versus Scotland. I put $150 on Blues halftime. Push, bro. I give you some money if I win. I now kind of understand your frustration. Because, honestly, if you have actually put money on, you're not the first person to come in, and then as soon as a couple penalties go against the side, like, they do end up normally looking for something to blame it on, and the ref normally gets the stick of it. But yeah, they'll be struggling to be ahead at halftime unless they score right now. And tell you what, they're in a good position to be able to do so. Corey Evans just having a bit of a stumble by passing out wide. Anton Segner looking for the turnover. Quintapire, in fact, it was Daniel Rona that time. Ended up leaving his feet. Another penalty advantage. Cam Christie drives his legs. And he's going to be held up. They will go back for the initial penalty. They only bet on the Chiefs. They are the best, says Skeleton. I give you $150 goodbye, says Gerhard. And that is going to be the penalty. Getting close to putting the ball down. Sean Stevenson and Amoni Narawa both just scrambling to stop him from being able to score. Now the Blues again, they are going to be kicking this one towards the corner. Last 5 penalties in a row have now been against the Chiefs. Is that the case? I think they got rid of one of the Blues ones in the middle of that. Hamish, that should be a yellow card. Has Ben O'Keefe forgot about the warning? Says Kiwi Rob. Yeah, I do think that one, it could have definitely been a stern talking to, but I think it was for something different was the only problem that they had there. But I would say anything more, and it will end up being more than likely a yellow card. Now Kurt Eklund moving forward. Looks like he's going to be flicking this one out the back for Sam Knock. Goes off to the right-hand side. Taeli goes to Rico Ioane. I forgot he was out there. Now Mark Talia for the corner. Has scored it. And the Blues get another. Celebrations for this Blues side just before the halftime break. What is your energy drink of choice? I actually don't drink energy drinks. Or like caffeine in general. I feel like I'd be too hyper. So I just normally have water, to be honest. But it's quite boring. I guess you could say. If everyone wants to see a true bias referee, I've referred to the Highlanders-Hurricanes game last night. Honestly, there were more boos at Forsyth Bar than you would expect from a haunted house, says Jason. And I don't know why the Blues are not going for penalties. They never do. Or at least they haven't this season, like I mentioned earlier on. It's cost them a couple games. But like they're hoping that it's going to help them get a few extra bonus points along the way. Yes, I win $890, but they won't be in the lead. Like, didn't you say that they had to be winning the first half? Yeah. On Blues halftime push, so they'll have to be leading, but they're down by 3 at the moment. And that's going to be the halftime siren. And we have the Chiefs 45, Blues 19, says Skeleton. And my daughter from St. Peter's, Soraya Grace, I should say, is at the game. Watching you from Melbourne, says Stuart. So shout out to you and your daughter as well. But now, going to be a long kickoff from the Chiefs, more than likely just to try and get the Blues to put this ball into touch. It will be just outside. Oh, it's actually just outside of the field of play. Wait, what? No, that's wrong, I think, in that case. So they've said he hasn't kicked it out deliberately, so it's half-time. But imagine that. If you're leading going into the full time, then you can just kick it out on the full and win the game, can't you? If that's the rule. That is an interesting one. I think they have got that one wrong. But it is going to be half-time now. 15 points to 12. And a very close fixture. I put 150 half-time, lose. I put $500 over 1.5 try half-time. Okay, so you lost one, but you got the other. Or, no, sorry, you had to have the Blues losing, but they had to score tries as well. Ben O'Keefe got that one wrong. I'm pretty sure he did, yeah. I'll give you some money, and I would support. I thank you, bro. Says Boba in there as well. Yeah, 3 points separating these two sides going into half-time. Like I said, we've got 3 more matches coming later on tonight, ladies and gents. We are covering the 3 of the 6 nations. That competition at the moment extremely close. We're quickly, while we're at halftime, we will show, of course, the Super Rugby table. But while we're at it, we might as well also show that 6 nations one in terms of how the sides stand. But there's going to be some great finishing contests of that competition. So this is how we sit currently. If the Blues stay the way that they are here, they will move up to 7 points. So they will move to 10th in the overall standings, which is something. It's a little bit of a climb. If they go on to win this game, they have potential of moving all the way up to around that 4th, 5th kind of range, probably 5th in fact, as the Crusaders have also leapt up since I took the picture of the table. So, yes, still a lot to gain. For the Chiefs, they pretty much can retain their number 1 spot no matter what here. The only way that they would lose it is if they lose this game by 44 points. And then that would drop the Brumbies, or drop them to 2nd, and the Brumbies would go up to 1st. Also, if the Tars get themselves a win and the Chiefs do not, then that can mean that the Waratahs can finish as the number 1 side. This is the way that the Six Nations sits at the moment. 3 sides, all with the potential of being able to win the competition. If Scotland can cause an upset against France, more than likely either England or Ireland would be winning, but that game will be taking place at the Stade de France, so it's going to be an awesome one, taking place at 9 a.m. New Zealand time. We will be doing an all-nighter right through to cover that one. While we're at it, we might as well look at upcoming Super Rugby fixtures too. Moana Pacifica versus the Chiefs. That has taken place on the Friday night. 3 games back-to-back, including Blues versus Crusaders. That is one definitely not to miss at Eden Park. And then the Force versus the Fijian Roa, taking place on Sunday. And it's actually a Sunday night kickoff for that matchup. We have got there, this referee supports the Springboks, says Boba. We're having Anton. I'm not actually 100% sure. I think it might have been a pre-match injury, unfortunately, because he was supposed to be in the lineup pretty much right through. For you Blues can win, the odd is 4, says Boba. It's a tough one. I don't want to give you any predictions just because the rest, you might dislike me. Hamish cares more about the Six Nations than Super Rugby, says Kiwi Rob. I think you just make up rumours to try and make yourself feel better, Kiwi Rob. That's about your 25th one that you've come up with in a matter of weeks. So it is enjoyable. One moment, we will quickly mute so we can sneeze. You'll probably come up with a rumour for that too, Kiwi Rob. We are back. We have got there. It's my birthday tomorrow, says Mohadin. So we will probably be live if your birthday does fall into those Six Nations game. Although it might not quite. He's got a point, says Kane Fowler. I mean, there is a difference, though, between international rugby and franchise rugby. But we cover both of them. Just because we miss the occasional game of Super Rugby doesn't mean we don't care about it. Like, if you look back through the channel, we've covered Super Rugby for ever since it came back from COVID, I believe. So if I didn't care about it, I just wouldn't do it. We have got there, beware of Ides of March, says Derek. I have no idea what that is. Still got allergies. Yeah, a little bit of hay fever still sneaking in every once in a while. I have a rumour about Hamish. He doesn't like New Zealand fish and chips. Well, I don't really like fish, but I do like fish when it's battered. So you could be onto something there. We have got there as well. Probably tune in for that French game. Looks solid. Says Mr. Orlin. Do you sleep during the day? Normally, I do try to if we're on the weekend and we've got like middle of the night live streams, but sometimes I don't get away with it. Like as you've seen already, when I don't do games, people get mad. So I normally try and go as sleep deprived as I can so I can get as many matches in. But this weekend we've decided we're going to try and get a bit of sleep, which has not been popular. We have got there, who's your AB's backline? Honestly, there are so many changes that could happen, mainly because of injuries at the moment, you know. Like, I still feel we've got one or two big injury problems that could come up before the end of Super Rugby Pacific. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Excited for Box versus ABs at Eden Park yet? Not really. I feel like once we get within those internationals, you know, in terms of the Rugby Championship, I will be. First, we've got the July internationals to get out of the way. And then after that, like, we've still got playoff rugby, URC, Super Rugby. I watch on DSTV Super Sport in South Africa. Mute and listen to Hamish commentary, the best. Says Gerhard, thank you very much. And we have got there, who's your fullback? See, I would go Will Jordan at 15. I know some people might disagree. Some would still move him to the other side and go to the right wing with him. But I do think that when he's at his best, like, yeah, he's a pretty handy player to have at the back. Beauden Barrett, I think, at the moment, from what we've seen, with the exception of his injury, you know, 10 would suit him a little bit more than 15, just currently, the way that he's playing. Now, who's your AB's backline on Rugby 25? Honestly, I don't even know what everyone's ratings are in the game. I haven't actually played as too many of the All Blacks, other than the ones in the Hurricanes, just because that's the one that we're doing for the career mode. And thanks for the broadcast damage, says James. And other box actually moving to the Six Nations? Probably not. Not for a really long time anyway. Like, eventually it might end up happening if they're going to, like, get accepted. That's the biggest thing, because for it to still be the Six Nations, it means that one of the sides that are in it have to go. But more people have said about how a promotion relegation with Europe would work better than adding a team from another continent into the European comp. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't see it happening for a good few years. But if it eventually did, I mean, time zone-wise, it does make sense. But, yeah, I think more Six Nations sides would say no to it than they would yes. Definitely the likes of Italy, who might have to be the side that step aside so that South Africa can take their spot. Or Wales, maybe. You know, if Wales eventually go bankrupt for their rugby, maybe that's the replacement for them. I guess my 9 Cam 10 D-Mac, Caleb Clark, Geordie Barrett, Anton Leonard-Brown, Ian. I assume that's Moni Narua, isn't it? Will Jordan, Kyle Preston, Beauden Barrett, and Quinta Pye. Says Banana. And thanks for the broadcast damage, says James. Derek, I can't wait for that game. Clash of the Titans stuff, says Gerhard. Well, Jordan is dangerous. Anywhere, I agree. Leave the Southern Hemisphere teams alone, says George. And we need a Southern Hemisphere versus Northern Hemisphere game, says Skeleton. Normally we get to see that in certain extents throughout the internationals, but of course you're talking about as a whole the Springboks League Rugby Championship, I would bring in Fiji, Japan, and Samoa, says Kiwi Rob. So in the case of the Springboks joining the Six Nations, are you making that competition the Eight Nations, or are you replacing someone who's in it? In which case, if you were getting rid of Italy or Wales, are they going into your rugby championship, or are you letting their rugby just kind of die off, or they go back to the second European comp? Because that's one part I think that some aren't thinking about, is the fact that if you're going to put them in and still leave it as the Six Nations, you're destroying another nation's rugby. But also, you have to work out, if you're turning it into the Eight Nations, who's another side that you're putting in there? Are you putting Georgia? Are you giving another Southern Hemisphere side? Are you putting Japan in, since they'll be able to bring a little bit of money into the competition? Kiwi Rob, that would be a downgrade, says George. We have South Africa join the Six Nations. They need to get Georgia in, bring in relegation promotion, says Banana. Rassi is focused on the three-peat anyway. Yeah, I think he's got his sights firmly focused on that World Cup. And he's also, I think he just wants to have the Springboks, injury-wise, completely injury-free by that stage. And adding more rugby for them might hurt that a little bit. When South Africa League Rugby Championship, it will be the death of Australia and New Zealand rugby. No more competition down in the south, says Red 7. And we have got there who wins the battle with the benches tonight, says Nick. Well, they've both had a couple changes later on in terms of their sides. AJ Lamb no longer at 23. Cole Forbes came in there, and also Coombs Fabling will be at number 23. That is due to Rona starting this match with no Anton Leonard-Brown in the starting lineup for the Chiefs. I believe those are the only two changes to the benches that we have seen, and I don't believe anyone has actually made their way off the bench as of yet. There was a bit of a concern for Tupovai, maybe a bit of an injury there, but he is going to be all right to continue. And we have got there what rugby game tomorrow. So tomorrow we've got the three games of the Six Nations: Italy versus Ireland, Wales versus England, and France versus Scotland. Super Rugby is already missing the South African team's physicality, says Red 7. And doesn't matter if South Africa leave Rugby Championship, rugby will still be competitive, says Prim. And also we have got there, if not box again, AB's in 2027, coming from a box fan, says Gerhard. And go Lucy, says Rave there too. But we won't be a mile off the second half starting up, ladies and gents. Of course, do let me know your full-time score predictions. Rugby 25 creator. Borrow a few engines created from NBA 2K Perfect, says Blues Nate. Bring in another Kiwi team north of Auckland, says Ronnie. As in like for Super Rugby, or for, I assume Super Rugby wise. I do think it would be kind of cool to have another team from overseas. I don't think it would be too fair that New Zealand got an extra side, definitely because at the moment we've already got the 5 New Zealand sides, whereas only 4 from Australia, 1 from Fiji and 1 from the islands, in terms of Samoa, Tonga, etc. So, like, time zone-wise, at the moment, it's quite nice. But, I wouldn't mind seeing either a Japanese side, or people have mentioned about maybe the Cheetahs from South Africa coming in, maybe the Rikwas as well. Yes, Super Rugby, says Ronnie. Without South African Rugby Championship, only style will change, says Prim. And who are the favourites for the URC? Or my favourites? I think Glasgow are looking pretty good at the moment. The Bulls have been a little bit 50-50, but when they get consistency, they're a really hard side to beat. And then, of course, you've got the clear and obvious Leinster, who just want to get through those playoff games, because the last few years, it's just been that little bit of a downfall. But honestly, I think the top 3 are exactly where they should be, and they all deserve to be there at the moment. Let's expand more Pacific Islander teams, says James. And we have got there Nick Leinster, methinks, says Gerhard. And the quarterfinals will be France versus Scotland, New Zealand versus Australia, Ireland versus England, South Africa versus Wales. The final will be England versus France. France to win the World Cup in 2027. Well, there we go. We heard it here first. See if it's right. Did you know that the average age of the Highlanders is 23? Yeah, very young side from down in Dunedin. We did see the return of Jonah Nareki recently coming back. How about a combined team from USA and Canada? Could be an idea, perhaps. I don't know whether or not they would look at it as taking away from the MLR, or whether that would be perhaps better, I guess, a better advertisement for that competition, but I wouldn't mind it. I feel like it just depends on what they want to do time zone wise, because of course, if you're playing up against that USA team in the USA, it's going to be a long flight there and back. So you'd have to have rest weeks for whoever plays them. So you kind of go over there and you have a week off so that you can get back to the right time zone getting ready for the next week. But it might work. If you had them maybe based out of Australia, would that bring enough? Probably not. I don't think you get enough supporters in there. So, yeah, it probably has to be that they play their home games in the US and Canada. And they just have to work out some sort of time zone or travel issues that might arise from it. Why is Springboks playing yet? Says Mochadin, or if that's why aren't they, it's because they normally play in July. So there's a little way to go before we get to see them again. Meters made 488 for the Blues. Arabia is on live sport in Australia, trust me, says James. And Bop says Blues Nate. And there as well. But one moment, we will quickly sneeze before the second half gets underway, ladies and gents. We will be back in a second. We are good. Right, no changes have been made to this Chiefs starting lineup. Vai has decided to stay out there. Asaresi, I don't want to join Six Nations. He said it himself. Says George. And yeah, I think there were multiple reasons of why he didn't want to, but like at the end of the day, like we've got two competitions, I feel, at the moment that are actually, they're doing well. The Rugby Championship last year was almost more competitive than it's ever been, with Argentina managing to beat every single side. The Six Nations going down to the wire this year, and with a clear favourite going into the second last round, all of a sudden becoming second string in terms of the chances of being able to win it. Yeah, we've also got that big competition coming up where it's going to be the top 12 sides. Also, the USA are only interested in USA sports, competitive food eating, and ultimate frisbee, says Paul. And how about Lucy for coach instead of the break dancer? Now going with the Blues. Harry Plummer tries to pass it in behind Cole Forbes. In fact, no, sorry, that is Corey Evans. Grubbers it downfield. Nicely taken by Damien McKenzie, met by Anton Segner. He's going to look for the turnover and the breakdown. He is so close to getting his hand on the ball, but Tupavai just kept him far enough away from being able to hang on to it. Naitoa Akoi again. Isn't there some Club World Cup in a few years? That is correct, yeah. And also that top 12 thing that's happening with the Six Nation sides, the Rugby Championship teams, and then also we're going to see 2 additional sides added. Oh, Corey Evans does the big pass over the top to Mark Talia. Decides to hang on to it. Puts in the fend. Norris can't catch him. Talia, he's making people break their ankles there. Jacobson almost took a bit of a tumble, but they are sitting 22 metres out from the line now. Back across to the left-hand side. Angus Ta'aval. And Australia will eat a rooster roll. Says Prim. I don't think Jordan Lay was ready for that pass, but he has managed to handle it nicely. But that was not good handling from, I think it was Kurt Eklund, was it? Did end up just having a bit of a fumble. He's going to do very good with the Highlanders. Says Banana Lucy. Talia tries to step and just gets around Brony McAllister. He just found a bit of extra space that he was able to work with there. And we've got, that's a big sticker. Blues, Nate, thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated for your generosity yet again. Did you just see that? A fly just landed on me. Maybe he was coming over to tell you thanks as well. You should take TKO on the road and do some broadcasting from the game, says James. It is an idea. The only problem with that is normally, there's a few issues. Like vlog-wise, it could be an idea. But in terms of live streams, it's very tough because, for one, you have to try and avoid the music that they're playing at the ground, or else you end up with a copyright claim from that. You also aren't allowed to film anything that happens on the field. like, people are allowed little social media videos and whatnot, but if you're doing it as a live stream, we've learnt that you're not able to film too much. And then also, Wi-Fi can sometimes be a slight problem. I mean, Wi-Fi can be a problem here though, but yeah, I don't know, maybe like a match day type of video would be quite cool at some point. Become accredited media, get on a spot in the media area. Says James, that is true, although I know that for 2 cents actually applied to become a media member for the Blues, and they declined him. So, if he got declined, living in Auckland, often goes to the games and, does a lot to do with the Blues. If he's getting turned down, then I don't think we've got much of a chance, really. I was lucky enough to have Falau Whakatava and Finn Hurley deliver me a KFC bucket during halftime last night. Was a deliver easy comp, says Jason. And we have got there, I cancelled Sky Sport now, they've increased the price, says Ronnie. And we have got there, the Blues still seem to be a better away team than home team. Probably less pressure away from home. Like their next game, it's at Eden Park up against the Crusaders. They'll be expected to win that one. But, the Crusaders will be a tough side to be able to beat for that contest. Nice backline movement all. Loose ball has bounced off the back. Namoni Narua takes it on the halfway line. Xavier Rowe goes across to McKenzie to Norris. Tuipulotu, he's been very busy in this game in terms of the amount of tackles that he's had to make. Kick downfield, well taken at the back for Corey Evans. And does get that ball into touch. Oh, double below the whistle. We could get in some subs. 1 and 5 for Blues. So that's going to be Fusi Tua and also Josh Beatty. And that'll be for Jordan Lay and Lachlan McWannell. 2 men who make their way off. Blues shot themselves in the foot by not giving 2 cents a chance. They should know better, says Glenn Woods. See, I feel like if it was, you see their social media and they seem pretty chilled out. So if it was up to them, I would say that they 100% would have accepted it. But it's just the higher up people who normally say no. And Blues should have taken 2 cents in. And you are doing so much work for New Zealand Rugby, says Red 7. Yeah, although they've gotten better, I think, in terms of knowing that people are now social media focused in some regards. But yeah, I'm only on YouTube, so I probably shoot myself in the foot as well by not doing things on other platforms. Are you ready for Six Nations Super Saturday? Says Big Rig Joe. Oh, that's going to be knocked on by Tupavai. In fact, he's managed to regather that. So it is going to be play on. But yeah, 3 games back to back to back. It's going to be a pretty awesome one for the Six Nations. That is knocked on by Brodie McAllister. There's an offload out wide from Jerome Brown. That led to half a chance. Now Plummer goes across to Corey Evans, who is just inside of his 22. Goes down the middle of the field. Advantage has ended. And McKenzie now 5 metres inside of his 22 will boot this ball downfield. Hasn't managed to find touch with it though. 40 metres out up to the halfway line for Plummer. He's tackled hard by Damien McKenzie. Looked like he was a little bit slower getting back up to his feet. Building communities, a great way to grow a business. Says Red 7. And we over there, mate. I watched the game on stand, but I have it muted and TKL commentary going. Says James. Of course, it is much appreciated. Oh, that was it a knockdown from Daniel Rona? I think they've just named it as a knock on, so advantage is already over for Eklund. Now knock looks both ways. Going to the right, chipped in behind. Bounce of the ball is very favourable. Gets a pass on the outside to big Patrick Tuipulotu. They drag him down 5 metres out from the line. Oh, that was bad. I think Naitoa Akoi played the arm. This will be a penalty try, I would think, or at least a yellow card. Yes, it is. Naitoa Akoi playing the 9. Did they have numbers on the right? Are they going upstairs, or is it just straight away? Naitoa Akoi going. Disrupting the flow of possession, they've said. Naughty, naughty, says Novmum. Oh, okay, there was a defender out there, says Ben O'Keefe, so that is why it is not a penalty try. Patrick Tuipologic just asking the question. Oh, and the pass was forward, says Ben O'Keefe, just to add insult to injury. What on earth is with the Blues jersey this year? They do better away than they do at home, says Banana. And also Chiefs fight down with the cowbells, says James. Yeah, great bounce of the ball. Sam Knox slid down and got his pass away. Tui Pelotu, and then just trying to use it wide. I've just said there, absolutely a yellow card, a southern twist of the game, absolutely. Big chance here for the Blues. Try and get this rolling ball going. They have gone to it all day. That is another penalty advantage in favour of the Blues. They've got the penalty. Talia. Tackled by McKenzie. Now skip pass from Knox. It's up for Corey Evans. Cuts back inwards. That is poor defence from the Chiefs. Great directional change from Corey Evans. And the Blues now will take the lead. Try and Blues at the front. And what the heck, says Skeleton. And misbehaving, he gets a 10-minute break, says Matthew. And footwork by Evans. Yeah, great step. And that was a little sneaky one. Because Amoni Narawa, he was pointing, going, he's going wide, he's going wide. So 3 men, including Narawa, were running that way. Evans goes, okay, well, I'll just go on the inside. There's no one there. And it has a free line to the try line where he wasn't even touched. And don't stop there, Blues. Still work to do, lads. Says Blues Nate. And hurry up now. Says the Blues Nate there as well. Right, lining up this kick. So a 94% chance that this kick goes over, and it has. So it's now going to make the score 19 points to 15. Shout out to 2 Cent. See Simon? Yeah, one of the OGs of the rugby YouTube scene. Nice bit of step in there from Corey Evans. I'm sure he'll be happy now that the Blues have also got themselves into the lead. Good evening from Melbourne. Go the Chiefs, says Ashley. That's their last points. Still 30 minutes left. It's a bold call, but no, the Chiefs still down a man for another 7 minutes. Right, Cortez Ratima makes his way on. Samasoni Taukiaho also now out there for the Chiefs. That's a knock on from Josh Berry off the kickoff, non-contested, and the Blues handling woes do continue. Seriously, the Blues this year at home are like sitting ducks. When they're away, they play well. What's up with them this year? I think they're just trying to find their consistency, which they haven't really been able to. You know, they'll have a game where they give away a lot of penalties, and then they'll have a game where they have a lot of handling errors. This game so far, they didn't, like, their discipline's been pretty good ever since the first maybe 20 minutes or so. We see it there, 4 penalties against them, but their handling errors, they've had 5. And that's starting to creep up just that little bit more. Tackle completion, they've made 88% of their tackles. The Chiefs have made 90, and they've made 150 tackles throughout this game, but more pure position and territory for the Blues here too. The Chiefs have got the scrum feed though, 25 metres out from the Blues line. And we've got a scrum reset. She's going to get 30 points now. Says Skeleton. All right, referee just getting them all set, ready for another scrum. Skeleton, I like the way you're thinking. Says Gerhard. 28. It's a long time. I've just mentioned about McKenzie having 20 points at Eden Park in the first game. Come on, Peter Parker, set up some web traps. Create an open spaces, try time, says Blues Nate, and that's the penalty. Go on the way of the Chiefs, right. This is where they have to think about it a little bit strategically. You're 25 metres out from the line. You've got another 5 minutes remaining of a yellow card. Do you go aggressive? Or do you take the 3, get within 1? I think you've got to, I'd say corner. You're missing one of your locks though, so gives you less jumping option. Chiefs need a try, although they have got Jacobson who can also jump, which works quite nicely for them, I would think. Same with Simon Parker. How good would it be to have Patrick captain of the ABs? He's more of a leader than Scott Barrett, says Glenn. He also seems to talk a little bit more than Barrett as well. Now Taukei'aho, 5 metres out from the line. Can they get the lead? Nicely claimed by Jacobson. I think he looked off to the referee. That is sacked by the Blues, and that will be the penalty advantage in the favour of this Chiefs side. They've lost the ball. Right. Goes off feet, collapses the maul. No warning for the Blues, as it is their first penalty against them in about probably 40 minutes or so. And go aggressive, they're good at that, says Skeleton, and Tosso Blue, says Vuller. Do you watch F1, Hamish? Liam didn't go too well today. Place 18th. I'm not the biggest F1 guy. I know that one of the other Kiwi lads, Isaac, he follows the F1 extremely closely. But yeah, I'm not much of the F1. Like, I'll watch it occasionally. I think it might be, if you're be a tie or a close game, says Chef. Yeah, both real possibilities. Oh, I know that both of these sides, oh, brilliant steal. No, it wasn't, sorry. I thought Tui Pilotu went through the middle and did it legally. Now, double blow of the whistle. Is this going to be a bad one? Oh, okay. So Tui Pilotu now getting a talking to and also getting told as the captain to pass on the message of no more advantages. That is now 2 in a row. Okay. Ben O'Keefe's just said, you keep going for the ball even when you had your knee down. How did TKO start, says James. Well, we just pretty much, like, I started off just uploading a few videos of Rugby Challenge when it came out. And then eventually we went from doing those videos to someone saying, oh, you should do like a commentary, like watch along of a game. So we did that. That was for the Mitre 10 Cup. And then I think that was about probably 4 years ago, and now we're still going, except now we're more, well, we're still doing a bit of gaming. We got the Rugby 25 series going as well, but yeah, it's just pretty much ended up being over 1,000 live streams and quite a few videos too. Ratama now going off to the side. Simon Parker just short of the try line here for the Chiefs, and they get their all. Nicely done by Ratama to be able to evade the incoming Dalton Papali'i. Jacobson again, just short of line. This is great scramble defense from the Blues. That was extremely close. They are yet again short. Tupavai. Oh, reached out. Couldn't get it to the line. Ratama now off to McKenzie. He's always dangerous, but Rieko Ioane knew it was coming and makes the perfect low tackle on him. And oh, did he get that ball down? No, it's going to be held up, but they will go back. This is going to be a yellow card. And Billa from Fiji says, Abhishek, welcome in, mate. It is great to see you again. And we have got there, Lawson had battery problems during FB3. Car wasn't right all day. Sad he didn't get a good quality time. Right, who is it that's getting sent off? It's going to be the youngster, Taili, who has ended up going to the Sidman. A little bit unfortunate for him. Right, they're playing na 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 na, hey, 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 goodbye round the stands. A little bit brutal on the 20-year-old. But looks like they are going to be going for the scrum. Rieko defending. Yeah, brilliant tackle by Rieko Ioane. Got him right round the bootlaces on Damian McKenzie. And also we got the yes, says Skeleton. Yeah, somehow managing to stop the Chiefs from getting over. Oh, that was very close to being a try for Taukei'aho. My birthday today. Give a shout out, says Abhishek. So happy birthday to you, of course. I think someone earlier on said that their birthday was tomorrow as well, so it must be a very popular time of the year. Blues only 1 to 12, says him. But now, big scrum from the Chiefs. That one's wheeled right around. Ref says you can play it. So the Blues get right in there. Now around the side for Quinn Tupaia. Across Cortez, Ratama Vai stretches out. Almost got a knee for his troubles. But Tupa Vai gets another try. The Rugby 25 is garbage without a proper game engine. Same problem as NRL games, says High Life. And Try says no mum. So they have now taken the lead while two sides have been down to 14 men. Chiefs are the ones who make a little bit of an impact now. Just before their yellow card runs out too. So they will be back to 15 with the man advantage. One moment, I'm about to sneeze. A very good finish from Tupavai. And that kick has gone over from Damien McKenzie, making the score now 22 points to 19. Could be a wet weather race tomorrow, so Lawson can still get some points. I think it was the effort from Anton Segner to try and get across, stop him from scoring it. And let's go, says Skeleton. Not Blues. Chiefs, I need 1 to 12, says he. Oh, okay. Stephen Perafeta has now made his way onto the field. That is to replace Harry Plummer. And that one's gone high. Mark Talia trying to slap it back. I believe he has knocked it on. Ball is in the hands of Daniel Rona. Now short side. Cortez Ratama passes across to Samasoni Tolkiaho. Tackled by Papali'i. Chiefs not letting this one go, says Glenn. Well, that's the thing. Both of these sides last week lost by narrow margins. The Blues by 1, the Chiefs by 4. So both of them will know that they just need to do that little bit more than they did last week to try and get themselves the victory. But up against these New Zealand sides, of course, you want to be getting as many wins as you can in those derbies. 22-19, says Skeleton, for the score. Oh, not quite taking that one cleanly was Quintabai. Actually went straight through the hands. Sounds like more substitutions are about to be made. Come on, the Blues, says Zion, I should say. Right, Aiden Ross goes onto the field. Norris goes off. Dyer, he will make his way off as well, and that is going to be for Sione Ahio. We have got the morning all from Cool Grey Cape Town, says Ruth. Welcome in. You have been doing extremely well. 20 minutes remaining in this contest. We have also got the 3 games of the Six Nations that we are going to be covering later on tonight. First of which, Ireland versus Italy. Home game for the Italians. Big scrum. Once again going sideways. Too much movement, says Ben O'Keefe. And we have got there... what a game it is, or it was before. Or by the way, for the Force, yeah, very high scoring game in that contest. The Crusaders, though, getting themselves a big win plus a whole heap of tries for the wingers. I knew they would sub, they exhausted, says Skeleton. They've just shown here the Chiefs points by quarter. They have scored 61 points, almost over double the amount that they have scored in any other quarter in the final 4 minutes. In the final 20 minutes of a game. And that is why this game can be so difficult to judge. So the Chiefs do normally ramp it up for that final 20. Now Talia almost going through. And hi Ruth, hope you're ready for the Six Nations games coming up, says Matthew. Thanks Glenn Gerhard, is much cooler today, says Ruth. Now Corey Evans goes across to Tui Pilotu. Stephen Perafeta passes it out wide to AJ Lamb. And a little bit of a counter-ruck coming there from the Chiefs, and it has worked out. It's popped out on their side. Looked like there was a Blues player down in back play. McKenzie, charging at the line, just couldn't quite find the offload. Now he gives it off to Samapini Finau. Runs it hard. Talia tackles Tui Pilotu. He's on his own team. Leroy Carter, flick pass off to Cortez Ratama. And that is a full field, brilliant try from the Chiefs. Is that the second try now scored coming from that Mark Talia wing? And I am, but no Dupont. We'll see what happens. Matthew says Ruth and try. Says Novmum there and boom. Says Banana Lucy. We're going to see the replay here in the breakdown. The Chiefs trying to go for that turnover. Yeah, that was all legal. No hands touching the ground. McKenzie got the offload away to Finau. Managed to keep that ball alive. Then Tolkiaho. Some silky skills from the big men. And then Leroy Carter, all he had to do was flick it on the inside, out the back door, like in the sevens. And let's go, baby, up the Chiefs. Says Skeleton. Hamish looking fantastic again. Lovely white Puma t-shirt. Says Ruth. And McKenzie gets the kick straight over. Is there a lot of rugby next weekend? I don't think there's a absolutely huge amount. One more. We'll have a quick look. So the URC. So we've got URC. There's a few games of the URC that we will end up covering, including Bulls versus Leinster. I think that it's still one more week until the sevens comes back, if I am correct. Events. Hong Kong is still not this weekend, but the weekend after. So it will just be the Super Rugby and URC next week. So you can now kick the ball out if you are part of the maul, says Kiwi Rob. I assume you're really not talking about that breakdown that they won the ball in, are you, Kiwi Rob? Because that was no maul. That was just a counter ruck. Oh, out on the full from Damien McKenzie. Pat Lamb went to England, didn't he? Then Coach Samoa, Steve Glenn Woods, and Fiji or Argentina to win the Hong Kong Sevens, says Banana Lucy. Right, Anton Signal also has made his way off the field. That is for an HIA. I believe he would have been the guy who stayed down in the back, like I mentioned. Finley Christie now makes his way on. Blues under pressure now, 10 points behind. Says Ronnie, yeah, the pressure is now on, but they have got a man disadvantage to deal with too. Sitting with another 3.5 minutes remaining. Now the line out throw. And nothing like melted cheese toast breakfast. G'day, Hamish. Great to see no technical difficulties this evening. Yeah, Sky Sport now seems to be running as smooth as it ever has. So whatever happened for that Hurricanes Highlanders game, luckily they've well and truly fixed it. Now Finley Christie got held into that rolling maul, so gives it off to Cole Forbes. Up the wire, says Ed Smith. And Blitzbox all the way, says Reniard. Yeah, I think they're in a tough group again. The Blitzbox, that's going to be another penalty advantage, this time going against the Chiefs. So we'll just continue to play it out a little bit more. And now they will go back. Right, Cam Christie's gone down. Maybe some sort of injury there. But we will quickly, just while we've got this little bit of a stoppage in play. So the polls for the men's side of things. South Africa, where is it? Hopefully we can see it here. So South Africa have got, I think they've got New Zealand again, don't they? They've got Australia again. They've got New Zealand. And then I think they had Uruguay as the other team in their group. So yeah, it'll be a tough one again. Looking for the corny here now. Blues will be about 5 meters out another minute, and the Chiefs are at full strength again. Says Gerhard, or the Blues, they are the side that still have their man off, as Chiefs managed to get their guy back for Naitai Akoi not too long ago. And then I think they just took him straight off. Just to not risk anything. Oh no, he is actually still out there. Naitai Akoi. 10 minutes not enough with 15, 16 minutes to go. Says Novmum. There's a great spectators game. Yeah, it's certainly ramped up, hasn't it? At the start, people were a bit concerned it wasn't going to be a great game, just with the first 10 minutes or so. But all that's going to be another penalty advantage in favour of the Blues. They're only a couple meters out from the line. Big blow of the whistle, and that is because it is a try. Looks like Marcel Renata is the man who's popped up with it. Auckland Blues suck, says Joke the Woke. Up the mighty Satyr, says Ed Smith. And try for the Blues, says Kiwi Rob. But Marcel Renata gets his third of his career. As I spoke, try, says Joke the Woke. It normally happens. Right, where is that ball? Just short. And then I think that next, he's allowed one movement. I believe that one movement slid him onto that line. And score says Mohadin. At the moment, the score is 29 points to 24. I've said because of the injury of Ovatoinga Fasi, it actually brought that man Marcel Renata into the side. Blues hard out. We're on the march back. Best believe it. Says James. I told you come with the Chiefs. And damn it, I was wrong. Says Skeleton. But chance here for the youngster Taili. And he has got it over. That will make it back to 3 points difference between these sides. The Chiefs in the lead. But can the Blues get back into it again? We'll go here for a second. At the moment, the Blues are $3.50 underdogs, ladies and gentlemen. And keep going, lads. Says Blues Nate. Sounds like Josh Jacob is going on, and Sean Stevenson. He's going to make his way off. Good attack and run from Tristan Cook. Now across to the right-hand side. Skip past from Perafeta. Finds a bit of space for Forbes. It's tackled low by Leroy Carter. The Chiefs getting straight in that breakdown, but not on the ball. Hey, Hamish says, Martin, welcome in, mate. You're doing extremely well. What a game, says Skeleton. Yeah, real back and forth between these two sides. That one's going to be kicked into touch by Finley Christie. Now line out chance here for the Chiefs. Feels like the Blues might win this 33 points to 29. Chiefs looking a little bit rattled. How was Stevenson game tonight, please? He did pretty well. In fact, he did get himself a try assist early on. What I can also do is give you all of his exact numbers, although they're only rough estimates, I should say, but they're off the Super Rugby website. Ball is still there for the Chiefs now, just inside of Blues territory. Ball's gone high. Not the greatest kick we have ever seen from Cortez Aratama. So Sean Stevenson had 4 tackles, 2 meters gained and 1 missed tackle. So honestly, like stats-wise, it's pretty brutal on him. But he was in some great positions throughout this game. And also, like I said, got that try assist with the round the back flick pass. Are we going to talk about the spike of rice prices? Crazy, hey? I haven't even seen the rice prices, if I'm honest with you, Martin. But I know today, where I am in New Zealand, it was the hottest day recorded on this date since 2008. So that's something. Time left, please, Hamish. Still 12 minutes remaining. Oh, that was almost a flip of a Moni Narua. In fact, no, sorry, almost a flip of Taili. It looked like his legs went up in the air. And it's going to be a new advantage in favour of the Chiefs. Samasoni Tolkiaho. Tackle low by Berry. Papali got the clean steal. But they'll go back again. 2 cents will be biting his nails, as am I. Says Novmum. Was he going to this game out of curiosity? Novmum? Oh, no, sorry. It's actually in Waikato, isn't it? It's not Eden Park. I assume he'll be going to the one next week, though, for that matchup. I just want to quickly see this breakdown again, where we saw what looked like Taili getting flipped upside down a little bit. But that one's gone into touch. Stevenson doesn't have remarkable stats overall, in my opinion, says Prim. I wonder what this All Black season will be like, says Choke the Woke. And Stevenson 2025 for the AB, says Prim. Now throw in for Samasoni Tolkiaho off the line out. About 10 metres out, Jerome Brown pops it up to Summer Penny Finau. Good one-on-one defence from Mark Talia. Now, no advantage. That's going to be for offside. They're trying to hold up Tolkiaho. Looks like the Blues are just going to take him into the in-goal area. It's going to be held up now. Right, this is a chance for 3 points. This will give them a lead of 6, but I don't know if that's what they want. I think that they want to go for the win here. Oh no, Ratima's looking at the posts. What are they going to decide here for the Chiefs? Any more penalties? Oh no, they're going to take the shot. They had a long think about it. It's not cold in Auckland tonight, says Ronnie. And we have got their rice in South Africa. It's quite cheap, not too pricey. Take the points, mates, says Judah. So yeah, they're working on the theory that if the Blues want to win this game, they have to score a try and convert it. Go for the corner, says Skeleton. Benakeva's leading the Chiefs, allowing them to be offside. They had the ball in hand. Now, Chance at the post for Damien McKenzie. Nice roof, but I can't cook. Oh, I can't cook rice. Do you have to burn the pot? Or how do you use a rice cooker? So here's Prim. Looks like he's trying to wind the clock down, Damien McKenzie. That's an interesting choice. It's gone over. That could be... Like, I know why they're doing it, right? They're working on the theory that with that lead, there's less time for the Blues to get back. But if the Blues do get themselves a converted try, and then the Blues do end up just wearing the clock out, then the Chiefs will be a little bit disappointed that they used up so much. Thanks to the commentary from Germany, says Mark there. It's greatly appreciated you being here for this match. 9 minutes remaining between the two sides, 32 points to 26. Now the current score. Bit of a counter-up coming from Josh Berry. It's been unsuccessful. Now waiting for it. Corey Evans, good take. Naholo, or in fact, no, sorry, Narawa is there ready for it. Marcel Renata going across now. Cross kick from Stephen Perofeta goes straight in the hands of Rico Ioane. Gets the offload to Dalton Papali. Has Forbes on the outside who he does manage to find. Leroy Carter trying to make that last-ditch effort. This is a brilliant bit of passing here from the Blues. Perofeta moves up to 22 metres out from the Chiefs line. McKenzie very slow to get back to his feet. The Chiefs, they're looking tired. The Blues, every single one of those passes, it was a case of juggling the ball with one hand and regathering. So all of them right on the verge of being dropped, but every single time they hung on to it. As the desperation to score late does come in. Tui Pelotu. Good one-handed carry from that man. Chiefs over the ball. Has he got it there? He's got a hand on it. Ben O'Keefe has said no. Trying to roll away was Aiden Ross. Pick and go round the side of the breakdown. Quinton Pye. I don't think there was a clear release there. And he's also left his feet. He's not happy to Pye, but he did infringe this. This looks like a bad injury for Eklund. Maybe just cramp, hopefully. Nothing more serious. Right, Mark D'Elia's looking as if he wanted to go quickly here. I don't think that would be the best idea. Love the commentary. I'm from Uganda, says Faisal. Well, it is absolutely awesome to have you here. The penalty count, 10 against the Blues, 8 against the Chiefs. And Perofeta, they will kick this ball towards the corner. As, like I said, it's one of those ones that the Chiefs, by taking 3, you make it so that the Blues have to get their kick over if they score. And I'm almost tempted to change that from if to when they score. They have looked really good from that last little play. Putting themselves in the prime position. Come on, Kazi Quintabaya. Says Blues Nate there. I know all the methods, but I still can't cook rice. Says Prim. Now Eklund throws it in nicely, taking Cam Christie. Goes off to Anton Segner. Chiefs trying to get over the ball. Not able to. Oh, crawling towards the line was Kurt Eklund. Talia onto his back, just short of the line again. Finley Christie passes it in behind. No advantage for offside. Chiefs are in trouble here. Rico Ioane. I thought for a second he was going to go 2 weeks in a row with scoring after waiting for so long to get his 50th. Still under penalty advantage for the Blues. 6 minutes left on the clock and a chance to take the lead if they score it near the post. Now almost reaching out. No advantage for offside. If the Chiefs aren't careful, they'll find themselves playing the remaining moments with 14. Cross kick from Stephen Perofeta. And Rico Ioane does make it 2 from 2 weeks. And now the Blues have a kick at the post to take the lead. And now, if that kick goes over, then the Chiefs, like I said, they've got 30 less seconds to take the lead back because they were stalling the kick. But brilliant offloading, just keeping the ball alive. Stephen Perofeta, he has had an absolute field day since making his way onto the park. He has got his cross kicks right. His long cutout passes have been on point. Let's see whether or not his goal... Well, in fact, now that I say that, Taeli, in fact, is the man who was taking the kicks, wasn't he? Or is it now Stephen Perofeta? No, it is still Taeli, a young man with a lot of pressure on his shoulders. His Super Rugby debut tonight. From the sideline to give the Blues a lead of 1. What a strike. It's coming round and it just hits the post and bounces away. And Moni Narua, a little bit of arrogance there, clapping him as he was leaving with a big smile on his face. Let's hope that moment doesn't come back to backfire on him. But it's now going to be the Chiefs with the kickoff. They go long into the 22. Anton Segner, 4 minutes remaining here. And good effort though, says Joke the Woke. Yeah, I thought it was coming round enough to end up converting. Now kick downfield. And does go into touch. The Chiefs thought about taking it quickly, but again, they'll use up that little bit more time. Bad sportsmanship, Chiefs, says James Martin. Oh, what a game, says Skeleton. A very close one. 3.5 minutes left. Last match for the Blues was the 2024 Super Rugby final over the Chiefs at Eden Park for Stephen Perofeta. It is a 1-point game, which could honestly go either way. The Blues are sitting as, I believe, $4.80 underdogs. I mean, there's not a lot of time remaining in this match, don't get me wrong, but, you know, like, that's a bold amount with this much time remaining. Like, they could still well and truly do it, although nice run. Going to be grabbed by the Blues. Oh, knock on from Rieko Ioane. The pass was poor. He tried absolutely everything to regather it, but he couldn't quite hang on. Little kick behind from Ratama. Nicely done. We have got the match that was unsportsmanlike, says David the Mod. Some very tight local Kiwi local derbies, says Ed. All taking it quickly. Decided to try and move this one around. They've got 3 minutes to work here. Rieko Ioane hanging on to it this time. 15 metres from their own line. Christie back into the pocket. This looks like they will kick this one. Evans goes downfield. Does get it into touch. So they've accepted the fact that they were deep and that they're going to have to try and get that steal at the line out, or perhaps a penalty in the first few breakdowns. But this has been Super Rugby summed up pretty much by this game. So many close contests. 1 point is what the Blues lost by last week. They've got 2 minutes left to try and get some form of points. Thank you very much, Tay, for becoming a channel member. You've now got access to those emojis in the chat we have been seeing very often. Now Samasoni Taokio, fingertip to it for the Blues, but they can't get possession. Jerome Brown, 2 minutes still left on the clock. That is a long time to just go for pick and goes next to the breakdown. Eventually, I feel we will see them start to throw it around a little bit. They'll be hoping for the penalty. Whether or not they get it could be a different story. Still another minute 40. This does look like they are going to try and wear down the clock. This is a risk this early on. You've still got a minute left. Wrestled down. Segner gets in there, but he didn't quite steal it. Still another minute 20. They've almost moved up to the 22. Papali'i tried to go through the middle, and now he's stuck in the breakdown. Chiefs driven backwards. 1 minute left. In fact, 1 minute 10. It's going to take a long time for this clock to finish. Oh, Vai lost the ball, and the penalty goes the way of the Blues. That is now twice in this game that the Blues have gone, that the Chiefs have gone for the time-wasting tactic, and it's backfired. You've got to remember, they did use up a little bit of extra time, taking that first initial kick of Damian McKenzie. Perofeta, he doesn't find touch. And now the Chiefs are just going to hang on to this. Wait, Nuttall's kicked it downfield. Why would you do that? Wouldn't you just do exactly what they were just trying to do? Finley Christie tries the cross kick, sits up for Cole Forbes, and he's knocked it on anyway. Tell you what, both teams are just making crucial errors right at the end of this contest. Right, we're back where we thought it would be. The Chiefs kick it out. They will win this game by 1, but Narawa almost threw it away. Finley Christie trying to cross kick almost threw it away. Well, it did because they lost in the final moment. But yeah, that seemed like it was just a bit of a brain fade, as if both guys were thinking, oh, we're only 30 minutes in, let alone the 79th. It's past 80 minutes, it certainly is, and now it is full time. The Chiefs, by 1, get the win. And that is now 2 weeks in a row that the Blues have succumbed to a 1-point defeat going into their game next week up against Eden Park. I can't be mad at that. Peter Feta like he never left. Yeah, Peter Feta looked brilliant off the bench for the Blues here. A few other guys really trying to step up throughout the contest too. I think Taeli, let's be honest, as a young player on debut, 20 years of age, yes, he missed that last kick, but it was right near the sideline, and we had already seen a missed kick before that point. Like, it was a really good effort from the young man, and it seemed to bring out some of the better of Rico Ioane in that second half. Great game, says Skeleton. And we have got there, thanks for the broadcast, Hamish. Blues till the end, great call, Hamish, filled with drama, absolutely. Going right down to the wire, like I said. Rugby is coached by Crash Bandicoot. That was close. Few, thank you again. Says Big Rick. Oh, sorry, that was actually Prim. Did end up saying that. Yeah, last minute thriller between these two sides, as it always is when these two sides played. Right. They are just talking to Cortez Ratama. Like they've said there, quality side. Take your L Dorklanders. See you next weekend. An awesome game. Love your commentary. Hamish, you the man. Says Matthew. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated. And Blues going to climb the table now. They got their mojo back. Says Skeleton. I mean, they did receive a bonus point from this game, so they will still be sitting in 11th at the end of this round, but it can only be onwards and upwards from here for this Blues side as well. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hamish hates Aussie teams games, says Kiwi Rob. No, I just like a little bit of sleep. Plus, we're doing 3 back-to-back streams. So we've got 6.5 hours worth of commentating that we are still doing. But Kiwi Rob, unlucky for your team. They lost again. We have got there. What time is the next game, says Mohadeen. The next game is going to be taking place at 3:05 a.m. New Zealand time. 3:15 is when the kickoff is taking place. Hey, Hamish, hope you are well. You do look it, though, says Stahl. Yeah, we didn't have as much hay fever on the stream, which was quite nice. Hamish, who cares about the Six Nations? Quite a few people. We actually get more viewers for the Six Nations than Super Rugby, even though we cover more Super Rugby games throughout the year, and they're normally higher scoring. The Six Nations does bring in the international rugby audience. We have got there, who do the Blues play next? They are up against the Crusaders next weekend. So that is a tough game. Luckily for them, it is at Eden Park, so they will want to fire back in that one. And then we have got the Chiefs, woohoo. And I should mention the Chiefs are going to be playing on Friday night, and that is up against Moana Pacifica. Play the old foe, yep. The rivalry. Honestly, like this Blues-Chiefs rivalry has blossomed a little bit over the last couple of years. We have got the Hamish do a finals with paid membership plus few. Says Blues Nate. Like, do a finals with paid membership. As in like the Super Rugby final or the Six Nations. We have got there, thank you Hamish, says Skeleton. No worries at all for the finals. Do a live stream. Says Blues Nate. For the finals. As in like, so we are talking about the Super Rugby finals, are we? Or different finals? I'm a little bit confused. And unbelievable, poor Blues. Says Riff, yeah, like they'll be disappointed again. The fact that they were so close, yet so far away in a way. And we have got there, Blues have the hardest start to the season though, Hamish, says Kiwi Rob. That is true. And I do, like I've said, they've had little things that I do believe they've improved on each game. For a start, it was the discipline. The next games, it was a bit of the handling. This contest, like, in terms of what they did wrong, they, like, with the exception of a few missed opportunities, this was not a poor performance from the Blues. Most sides would be extremely happy to score 31 points up against the Chiefs, but the biggest problem was the fact that there was that little patch when they were down a man, and we saw 2 tries scored in quick succession for Cortez Ratama and Tupovai. That was the moment that won the Chiefs the game. So even though the discipline as a whole was better, it just ended up, unfortunately, with the last little grasp. I think you shouldn't be allowed to change the kicker. In what regard? Like, as in, if your kicker goes off subbed, you're not allowed to have anyone else kick? Is that what you're trying to say? Because that's what, like, happened. Harry Plummer went off, so then Taili took over the kicking responsibilities. Oh, charge the kicker. Sorry, I thought you said change. But, yeah, normally it doesn't really affect too much, unless it is, of course, that one big moment. Charge the kicker, Hamish. Yeah, like, it's one of those ones, as soon as they start the emotion, you're allowed to charge. Normally, no sides even get close to being able to charge it. We didn't see that affecting this contest. We go get the Aminaz game. I loved your game, or love the game, yeah, says Tay. Eliminate those toxic clowns from trolling and spamming, says Blues Nate. Yeah, although I think no matter what, you're always going to get, like, spammers and whatnot. You aren't allowed in league, says Kiwi Rob. You're also, like, the thing is, it's a different type of rugby. So, you know, you're allowed more players on the field than sevens in this. That's just, there's differences, you know. You're not allowed to pick the ball up in football, but you are in rugby. So what does that mean? First is the 11th seed producing a game like that. Yeah, see, I still can't get over the fact that we're looking at top of the table versus bottom, and it's the final from last year. You missed it earlier, Roof. All taken care of, says Blues Nate. And a Blues surprise today, says Hanoi. Yeah, nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're going to be back for 3 games of the Six Nations. Are you guys asleep now? I will probably try and get a little bit of rest in before the 3 back-to-back contests of the Six Nations. So that one will be starting at 3:05, which is in around 6 hours' time. Well, that one, thank you, Hamish. Says Blues Nate. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all for the next one.